spiritual book lover but too busy to read all of those amazing books out there? Do you typically read a book and move on to the next without truly absorbing and applying the principles to your life? Are you ready to embark on a soul journey to awaken, expand, and evolve into your highest good? Welcome to the Online Spiritual Book Club talk show with international psychic medium Julie Geigel. Every 8 weeks, we explore a spiritual book, delving deeper into spiritual principles and ways to implement these principles into your life. Join us for enlightening conversation to raise your vibrational frequency and align with your soul purpose. Because if you keep on doing what you've always done, you'll keep on being who you've always been. Change doesn't happen unless you make a change.
Fabulous. Well, welcome today. This is week 5 of our book club talk show. We're exploring the law of divine compensation with Marianne Williamson as our author. And today we are discussing chapter 12, Embracing Abundance, chapter 13, Meditation, my favorite, and chapter 14, Prayer. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Today with chapter 12, Embracing Abundance, Marianne shares with us that true prosperity is our prospering of our spirits in service to love. So I think that oftentimes we think of prosperity and abundance as money, as our income. And Marianne invites us to maybe shift a little bit with that. And it's not that we don't have to pay bills. And it's not that we don't have obligations and responsibilities. But when we make our income our primary focus of our intention, sometimes it cannot bring us the results that we desire because we move into fear and lack and worry, and that blocks the miracles and the true abundance which lies in our heart. And so true prosperity is our prospering of our spirits in service to love. So if you really truly embrace that concept and wrap your mind around that idea, it is about our soul, our beingness, being in service to love. You know, certainly everything, God is all encompassing, but when we can break it down into that specific category of being in service to love, being in service not to other people, not to ourselves, not to our business, but to love. And I think that, I've really been practicing and putting into place some of these principles. As you can see, my co-host is not here. And so it really is, one of my favorite lines from Metatron when I was channeling one day was, "It is of no concern." And so as I get sometimes caught up into the day-to-day task of living, I'll hear Metatron come in to my head and he'll say, "It is of no concern." And you can do this on your own. You don't need other people to help you with this or to be successful at this. And yes, I'm living this right now. You're witnessing it. You are an idea in the mind of God, and an idea does not leave its source. God is infinite, and God is love. Therefore, you share in that infinitude, and you share in that love. This is simply the truth of who you are. Everything else is an illusion. And that's that's another great affirmation to have handy when your mind starts jumping down that rabbit hole that, okay, this is all an illusion. The only thing that's real is love. Will help ground you, get you back to that place of center. I love how she shares with us that we, on page 135, we are programmed for abundance because we are abundant. So abundance is our natural state of being. Non-abundant is not. Abundance is who we are at the very core of our being. And that's why love is so powerful, because love is who we are at the very core of our being. And so nobody can take that away from us. It's internal, it's inside of us. And there are ways that we can tap into that source, and there are ways that we shut that source off. And the more that we can learn and understand how that functions within our being, the less our experience here is a struggle, and the more it is effortless. Beautiful. Okay. No matter what you do, your abundance lies in dedicating your work to the purpose of healing the world. And so if you think in those terms, instead of, okay, I'm going to go here and I'm going to do this and I'm going to make so much money, and then I'll be able to pay this bill and that bill and do this and that. Instead of that mindset of going to a job or earning income to support yourself, shifting into the mindset of really dedicating your work to being healing the world, the purpose of healing the world. So whether or not you're in a service-oriented industry, that doesn't matter. You can be a garbage collector and have that perception of healing the world, because it is through your interaction with your work, with people in the world outside of your work, that really gives opportunities for healing and touching people's lives in a way that oftentimes you're completely and totally unaware of. Maybe just a simple smile or a kind gesture or a word. To you it didn't mean anything, but you never know where that other person is in their life. And so it really is about healing the world, because when we heal the world, we heal ourselves, because we're all connected. And when you heal, I heal. It's beautiful, really it is. My favorite part, I would have to say, in this chapter 12, Embracing Abundance, is when she talks about, we're on page 136, we're not depressed because the economy is depressed. The economy is depressed because we are depressed. And we're depressed because we've lost conscious contact with the realization of why we're here. You just need a moment to absorb that. I'm actually going to reread that, because it really is that simple and that powerful. We're not depressed because the economy is depressed. The economy is depressed because we've lost conscious contact with the realization of why we are here. And so certainly we came, part of our experience here is forgetting. And so we drop down into this body and we have that soul contract, and our memory is wiped. We have no recall of the spiritual realm and what it is our purpose is here in this lifetime. And the point of our existence is to remember, quote unquote, remember who we are. And it is through our experiences on our journey that help us to awaken and remember. But what happened somewhere along the way is that we began to overuse medication and alcohol and numb ourselves. And so many people have chosen this route and have not recovered, if you will, that it's affecting, us on a larger, massive scale, and having quite detrimental effects on our planet, on the whole world. And so our purpose here today with our online spiritual book club is to help you awaken, help you to remember who you are, help you to have conscious contact with the realization of why you are here. And certainly I can tell you why you're here. You're here to be love, to be an expression of God's divine love. You are here to help heal the planet, help heal each other. But me telling you why you're here, that's not enough. That's why we call it awakening. You have a deeper spiritual connection that you personally inside of you need to experience for yourself in order for that shift to occur. It would be great if it were as easy as somebody telling you what your purpose was and you saying, yeah, okay, I remember now, and being fulfilling that. But it really, sorry, it's not that simple. It does take work. It takes work on your part. And it begins with that longing, that desire, that hunger of, there's got to be more. That life just can't be this. There's got to be other stuff here going on for me to tap into. And it is through the realization and through that power and that connection with your soul that brings you that serenity. Absolutely. Absolutely, I tell you, it's been amazing. All right, we are rolling right along into chapter 13. Chapter 13, Marianne talks about meditation. Meditation is amazing. If you don't meditate, I highly recommend exploring that a little bit more. And I think that for some people, what's the number one reason people don't meditate? What do you think what's number one reason why you don't meditate? I'm too busy. Yeah, that's the number one reason why people don't meditate, is they say either I'm too busy, I don't have time to meditate, or they'll say, oh, I tried that meditation, it doesn't work. And I always wonder, what do they think is going to happen? What do you mean it doesn't work? It's like a faucet. Either you turn it on or you turn it off. How does that not work? So with meditation, it is simply about making a conscious effort to quiet your mind and get in touch with your soul. Get in touch with the divine. There's no wrong way. There's many different kinds of meditation, and so you just have to find something that works for you. And oftentimes I just simply tell people, I said, the best place to start, and one thing that I do in my life, and I've done this now for about 10 years, is in the morning I get up early and I relax with a cup of coffee for an hour. I set my timer and I sit in complete silence, and I've got the dogs on my lap and they snuggle right in, and I typically begin with kind of running through, what do I want to get done, accomplish today, by the end of the day? What do I need to get done? What I want to get done, and kind of run through all that stuff in my mind and let it have its time, if you will. And then I pray. I pray for peace. I pray for anybody who comes into my mind. Typically, when somebody comes into your mind, when you begin thinking maybe about your mother or a friend, their soul is connecting with your soul, asking for healing, asking for love, asking for light. And so it is an opportunity to, shed that light on them. It doesn't have to be during that quiet time. It can be any time during your day. Whenever you think about somebody, it is their soul contacting your soul, asking for love and light, asking for that little boost. So that's what I tell people, is to just start with quiet time. Sometimes people get caught up into that word, semantics, meditation. Oh my gosh, there's just so much responsibility with that meditation. But yeah, just if that feels better for you to call that quiet time. But there is a point in that quiet time where I just really get present with the moment. And that's what meditation truly is all about, being present in your awareness, being present with your surroundings, hearing the birds singing, listening to the sound of the refrigerator. My refrigerator story, I love. We used to have an old refrigerator, and I loved that refrigerator, especially in the morning during my meditation, because it would come on and it would be like a low hum, and I could just really feel myself becoming one with the refrigerator. It was a pretty amazing experience. Well, then it broke. We had to get a new refrigerator, and guess what? The new refrigerator didn't hum. It's energy efficient. Imagine that. Many times we can use sounds in our environment to help bring us into that space of center, of that deep, intimate connection with our soul. Marianne also explains the beta, delta, theta waves, and I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, or a hypnotherapist with certification in clinical hypnosis. And so I work a lot with the brain waves. And beta is our normal waking state of awareness. We move in and out of beta, or beta is our waking state of awareness. So beta is more of a high functioning state. You're kind of hyper, and that's the waking state. Then there's delta. Delta is it's the first level of hypnosis. We move in and out of that state all day long. 80% of us are in this delta state, which is the beginning level of hypnosis. And so delta waves help us access the unconscious. It reduces levels of a hormone called cortisol, known to cause stress and aging. And it also produces a restfulness akin to deep sleep. So delta is what most people move into during meditation, and during any time you're relaxing. So maybe you're relaxing to a TV show, or just sitting out in nature, or having a conversation with a friend, and you're just very relaxed. You move into that delta wave, and then the deeper state is our theta. And theta is actually the state of hypnosis. And some people during their meditation actually do move into that theta state. And it's just a deeper level of consciousness where you can actually bypass and access that subconscious mind, and then reprogram, release blocks, remove limitations, and reprogram that subconscious mind for joy and love and peace. So she just explains that greater insight through meditation, deeper understanding, expanded perspective, more whole system knowing, and deeper peace, forgiveness, and love. All of these arise more easily from the meditative mind. And she says that meditation is prayer to fuel our spiritual selves, just like food is fuel to feed our physical selves. I thought that was kind of interesting. And another thing that's actually kind of stuck in my mind this week, she says that in A Course in Miracles, it says we are much too tolerant of mind wandering. And so I've really been paying attention this week on when I'm letting my mind wander, because it's a nasty habit. It does no good for us, because typically our mind wanders on negative things. If you're mind wandering and daydreaming is positive things, and I believe mind wandering is on negative things. You're thinking about that conversation, and you're going over and over and over like a broken record, what you said, what they said, what you should have said differently, their body language, who else heard. I mean, it just, you get obsessed about it, and that mind wandering, and that's not good, does zero good. And it is, we're much too tolerant of the mind wandering. And Eckhart talks about making, and Thich Nhat Hanh talks about making meditation your life. That meditation isn't just a short period of time that you do for 10 or 20 minutes every day, but you can turn everything into your life into a meditation. You can meditate all day. When you're washing the dishes, you can make that meditation. When you're talking with your friends, you can make that a meditation. So, with that idea, meditation is more about being present, being aware of your surroundings, being fully immersed, and feeling those feelings that you're experiencing within that. Oh, I tell you, I can talk all day. Okay. We have about 9 minutes left, so let's go ahead and move into our last chapter. She talks about prayer. She does have a prayer to end chapter 13 that I'm going to share quickly with you. Dear God, so take a nice deep breath, feet firmly planted on the floor. Good, good. Close your eyes. Dear God, I give this time of quiet to you. Please dissolve my thoughts of stress and fear. And deliver me to the inner place where all is peace and love. Amen. Beautiful, beautiful. So let's move into chapter 14. We're talking about prayer in chapter 14. And in A Course in Miracles, they say that prayer is the medium for miracles. Prayer directs the mind to hear the voice of God over the voice of the ego, to notice the illumined thoughts and ideas that emerge naturally from the deeper regions of our consciousness. And, many of the spiritual leaders say that prayer is when we talk to God and meditation is when we listen to God. But both types, we are accessing a deeper consciousness and we are increasing our vibrational frequency, which helps us access that deeper consciousness. Marianne explains that the universe is like a house wired for electricity, but too often we're like unplugged lamps. Prayer is the way we plug into the divine, aligning our thinking with the love that infuses all things. So we have this electrical current that's constantly running through us and available to us, but we have to plug into it. And we stay unplugged through numbing techniques, whether it's sugar or shopping or alcohol or food. Those are things that keep us numb and keep us unplugged. And she just is expressing here that prayer is another way that we can plug into the divine and allow that electrical current of love to be turned on and to flow through our being, through us and out into the world. And she has a beautiful prayer here. She says, prayer writes the universe around you because it writes your mind. So take another deep breath and close your eyes. Dear God, I surrender to you my work and my desire for work. I surrender to you my fear. I surrender to you my money. I surrender to you my debts. I surrender to you my sense of failure, and I surrender to you my shame. I surrender to you my dreams and my visions and my hopes. Amen. Beautiful. So you might ask yourself, why pray? What is the purpose of prayer? What is the point of prayer? And she says, prayer helps us to align with the power of God's mind, or to align our mind with God's power. So our mind is connected with God's mind, and we are one, as all of us are one. And to tap into that power, the power of God, we can do that through prayer. And how cool is that? It's like, oh, forgot to plug in today. So yeah, take time, take time every day to get plugged in. Definitely, definitely. And Marianne closes with a beautiful rendition of the Our Father. She kind of transcribes it here. So we say unto all eternity, moment after moment after moment, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. So go ahead and take a nice deep breath and close your eyes. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. The God who dwells in the realm of truth, may your word be all powerful in my mind. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. May the world I live in here on earth reflect the reality of love. May I think your thoughts and make manifest your thoughts. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Today may I receive what I need. May my way be unblocked, as I unblock my heart to others. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. And when I'm tempted into fear, may I be guided back to loving thought, that love might be my experience, and love might be my power, and love might be my happiness and my peace in every single moment of my day. Amen. And so it is. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. Next week we will be focusing on the last two chapters. I can't believe this book club went so quickly. Chapter 15, Creating
90
Wealth.
seconds.
Chapter 15, Creating Wealth Through Purity of Heart. And our final chapter 16, Working Miracles. Until next time, remember, for being and having are ultimately the same thing. Know that whatever you can be, you can have.